Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw Countout, the best top 10 wrestling show that you can find right here, youtube.com/Stephen Larson. I'm sure there are better top 10 wrestling shows out in the world, but this is the best one you can find at youtube.com/Stephen Larson.
Yeah.
You can also find it wherever fine podcasts can be found. If you're on one of those podcasts and you really enjoy Going In Raw and want to help support the show in a free and easy way, just go write a review or leave a rating of some sort.
You said if you're on one of those podcasts.
If you're on a podcast app.
Oh, you didn't say app.
If you're on a
podcast.
Hey, if you're on a popular podcast, you want to collaborate with Going In Raw, we'll be open for business. You can support us by doing that too. Tell your listeners about us. But if you don't have your own podcast and you're just listening to this on an app, leave a rating or leave a review or a rating. We're also available at Patreon, patreon.com/Stephen Larson. There's a ton of reward tiers to choose from. If you want to financially support Going In Raw, it's a great way to do it. Help the show. And yeah, we have an office to pay for very shortly because we're on the road to office space.
I'm like Charlotte Flair. I'm not going to point at the sign anymore.
You at least have to stare at it with reverence.
No, I'm going to do this.
That's hitchhiking.
Pointing. This is me pointing.
You're hitchhiking to office space.
Me pointing.
That's right.
But I'm not going to turn and point. I refuse.
Anyways.
Last
couple weeks, there's been some interesting movement from the non-WWE ranks back to the WWE.
Yeah, ever since Rumble weekend, of course, specifically, there's a lot of excitement seen about people that used to be signed with WWE maybe coming back. At TakeOver, we saw EC3. Of course, he's in NXT as Derek Bateman.
Yep.
Rey Mysterio,
yeah,
a surprise entrant in the Rumble, and since then has said in an interview with The Mirror that there's a pretty decent possibility he could return.
He seems to really want to come back.
Yeah, and then recently as well, Bobby Lashley apparently is no longer under contract with Impact, free to go where he likes.
Yeah.
Rumors going around that he will be returning to WWE as well, so that got us to thinking about 10 people who should come back to WWE. Let's lay the groundwork, though. What is our criteria? People that were signed to main roster or NXT. No developmental wrestlers prior to NXT.
Give us an example of what you're talking about.
Kenny Omega. He was in WWE developmental years ago, but he was never, as far as I know, appeared on any WWE branded television.
Right.
Therefore, we're not including him.
Okay, sounds good. I like all that. So here we go. Let's get right into it.
Yeah.
Number 10. Sami Callihan.
So he was Solomon Crow in NXT.
He was a hacker type guy.
That was the gist I got. His little video packages were pretty cool.
They're kind of cool, I know.
Leading up to it.
Yeah.
But then he just comes out dressed like a wrestler.
Yeah, I didn't. It was, I didn't understand. That's a hard gimmick to translate.
Yeah.
I mean, how is he going to work being a hacker into his matches?
Exactly.
What is he like? It's sort of a limited ceiling in terms of what you can do with that.
Yeah.
I mean, you're getting into vocational wrestling, and there's not a lot of them these days.
No, there's hardly any.
So as Solomon Crow, it was kind of like whatever. Sami Callihan, once he went back onto the independent scene,
he kind of rebranded himself too.
Yeah,
I think his Twitter handle
Worldwide Desperado.
Yeah.
So I don't even know what that means, but he looks really cool. He's a hell of a promo guy. He's one of the main reasons to watch Impact Wrestling. If you do watch Impact Wrestling, him with the Christ brothers dubbed themselves Ohio versus Everything, and they're doing some really good work. They had that barbed wire match against LAX that a lot of people are talking about that streamed on Twitch. We've seen him wrestle live in PWG.
Yeah. He's always like, his matches are full of energy, hard hitting.
Oh man, yeah.
His repackage, he looks great. He's got the leather jacket, the jeans, all that.
I like the bandana thing around the neck.
Yeah.
So that looks really cool. Yeah, he's just, you said it perfectly. Energy, and he's chock full of intensity. He just comes off as super intense. And so I think that version of Sami Callihan could return to NXT as Solomon Crow, but this time just you don't have to be the hacker.
Well, keep Sami Callihan. It's a great name.
He was he was there. Look, there's a line of delineation that Cassius Ohno kind of set a precedent by coming back. Number one, what did you say about Chris Hero Cassius Ohno?
Oh, he probably did that so he can keep his pro wrestling tee shop open.
Sami Callihan
could be okay.
Probably. I sort of see them in the same light.
All right, fair point.
So Solomon Crowe comes. It's not like Derek Bateman, who was around for like the freaking
very early stages of NXT. I know,
right? Exactly.
It's not the same thing.
It's
it makes
kind of
total
different.
sense. He's established a huge brand as EC3. Makes sense for him to come to WWE as EC3.
They don't have to go back and say, "Well, he's a hacker. Why isn't he a hacker?" They don't have to do all that. Just forget about that.
He was in
part.
NXT for such a short on TV in NXT for such a short period.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I think he was in developmental for a while, but he wasn't on TV a very long time.
Yeah, no, he wasn't. But still, it'd be great to see him come back. Like we said, he has really, and I think he's the head booker of like CZW or something right now. So, I mean, he's got a great career on the independent circuits outside of WWE. Personally, I would love to see him back in NXT. I think he could do some really
he
good work
certainly
there.
doesn't need to come back, but it'd be fun to see him.
Absolutely. Number 9.
9.
Trent, a.k.a. Trent Beretta. It cracks me up. Sometimes in New Japan, they just refer to him as Beretta.
I know.
And not Trent Beretta or Trent.
Anyways, we've seen Trent in NXT and on WWE main roster. He was pretty much a jobber during his tenure on the main roster. Nonetheless, Trent is great.
Yeah,
he's hilarious. He's fun. He does planches onto nothing. Puts his body on the line. But if I had my preference, it wouldn't just be Trent coming back to WWE. He'd be joined by his best friend, Chuck Taylor.
Chuck Taylor. Here's the thing about Chuck Taylor. If nothing else, because I love him. I think he's great. He's a really fun wrestler. He's the best Twitter follow in WWE, or I'm sorry, in pro wrestling, at least on the indie circuit.
Yeah,
he's
like
pretty
the
best Twitter follow. He clowns the shit out of his friends in WWE or not.
Was the Adam Cole one?
He said, because he was talking to, who's the dude who books PWG?
Excalibur?
Excalibur.
Yeah.
He says, hey, so there was Adam Cole posted a picture of him coming out for the Rumble with rib tape on.
Yeah.
And the tweet was, hey, Excalibur, look at this fat piece of shit trying to hide his gut using DDP's belly tape. I'm sorry. That's funny. That is so funny. I was cracking up, and then I showed you. You started laughing out loud. Look at this fat piece. And it's Adam Cole who looks amazing.
Oh, I know. He's in great shape. It's hilarious.
Anyways, yeah. So I agree. I'd love to see Trent and Chuck Taylor. I'd love to see the best friends. They're doing, of course, great work in New Japan and Ring of Honor right now.
And Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. I think they're having a title match at the next show.
That's right, yeah. So I would love to see Trent. Love to see both these guys. They're fantastic.
Yes.
Number 8.
8.
John Morrison.
A.K.A. Johnny Mundo, a.k.a. Johnny Impact.
Correct. Now, my only thing about him, look, he's fantastic. He was fantastic in WWE.
Yeah.
He was great. He's great in the independent circuit. I would kind of like to see him update his sort of the thing,
His gimmick?
He's got like bell bottom still, kind of.
No, I know.
And then like the big hair, kind of.
Yeah, man.
And the sunglasses.
No, I'll keep it all.
No, and the big jacket. I don't know. Just update it a little bit.
Well, give me an
Be
idea.
new.
Give me an idea.
Put a little glowy thing around his neck.
Pretty sure
Do something
There's
new.
at least something sparkly around his neck.
I want glowy, though, like an LED thing.
Oh, not jewels or shiny metal?
I don't know, man. I'm not a fashion designer. I don't know what to tell him. I just
Maybe you
want
shouldn't
to
tell him
be
anything
new.
because you have no
A
knowledge.
mohawk.
No.
A mohawk.
No.
I bet he's got a great head. I
Yeah.
couldn't pull off. Remember you cut me a mohawk.
It was a
one
bad
time.
mohawk, though. I really did not
I thought
do a
it
good
looked
job.
kind of cool.
Well, because you could only see the front, but it was way crooked and back.
Oh dear. Yeah, I think Kristen said it looked like an S.
Yeah. It's like you had a hairy snake crawling up the back
But then
of your
that's
head.
my name, Steve. That'd be cool. The S back there.
Well, it wasn't quite that pronounced of an S.
Well, let's do this. A mohawk. We'll do a mohawk on me, and then we'll carve my name into the side in like cool letters.
All right.
Anyways,
Like a Minoru Suzuki type deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Full mohawk.
So John Morrison, I think he needs a rebrand. I'll be honest with you, but regardless if he does or doesn't, I'd love to see him back in WWE.
Yeah, absolutely. He's still great in the ring. I haven't really seen much of it. Have you been doing any promo work in Impact?
Yeah,
It's still kind of all right.
it's hit or miss.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was one promo he did at I don't know, it was either Bound for Glory or Slammiversary or one of those, when he went on this long tangent about his dad. And it went all over the place. It was really weird. And I think he was trying to make a joke or something, but it just fell completely flat. So it's kind of hit or miss.
He was really good in Lucha Underground.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. I heard that he was good in
Yeah.
Lucha Underground. Yeah. Because it's all scripted.
Yeah.
I think, and he's got that movie Boone.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's probably good. I've heard good things about that. I think in Impact, though, I mean, Impact's one of those things where it's like, maybe they should at least give him bullet points.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they kind of don't even do that, maybe. But I don't know.
Do you think they even give him a time limit?
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're just like, hey, look, we've got 2 hours to fill. So
you know, take your swings, see how much of that you can fill up.
as long as you want to go. Exactly. So yeah, I'd love to see him. He can bring back those crazy things that he did for, like, he did the same thing kind of Kofi Kingston did, didn't he? For the Rumble, he would do he got eliminated, but not really. I was going to get back in.
Yeah. Is he a cruiserweight? Like, well, how much does he weigh?
I can't believe he weighs more than 205.
Well, I think he's tall though, relatively.
Is he?
He might be like Seth Rollins size. It's like 6'2", 220.
He's 6'1", 215.
All right. So he wouldn't qualify for 205 Live. Not that I'd want to see him there anyways.
Monster over there.
But that would be a pretty massive way to get some more interest in 205 Live, to bring John Morrison over.
Hey, listen. Do-do-do-do. There you go. And then bring back the slow-mo cam. See, all that stuff was cheesy. Have him come back and feud with The Miz or something.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Number 7.
7.
Wade Barrett.
Are you going to say it?
I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
You really liked Wade Barrett.
I liked him doing certain things. I really like Bad News Barrett. I really like that. I'm bummed out they got away from that. I really liked his initial push as leader of Nexus. I thought that was really cool. And then Cena evidently pulled his garbage where he said
Cena wins.
Yeah, that stuff. But by the end, he was like skinnier. And he wasn't.
You can tell he was not into it.
He was a bit checked out.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, they weren't giving him anything.
No, he was in the League of Nations.
He had. Oh, that was terrible.
And before that, he was King Barrett when he won the King of the Ring.
Oh, I kind of liked even that stuff. But yeah, I don't know. When creative doesn't give you much to do, then you're not going to be doing much with it.
And then he was injury prone too. He seemed to get hurt at the most inopportune times.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't really think of anybody else to put on this list. Like, I didn't want Alberto on this list. Okay, good. He's number 2.
What is he still GM of Defiant Wrestling?
Yes.
Okay, so he's still in the business.
Yeah, no, he still does stuff. I know he's going to try to get into acting a little bit.
Yeah, he was in one WWE produced movie, the one with Colin Farrell in it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So I don't know. I liked him. I thought he was a good personality. I just don't know. You know, they got to make room for him somehow if that would ever happen.
Do you think if he were to go back to wrestling on the indies, he could have a Drew McIntyre like return?
I'll put it this way: I think he could. I don't know if that was ever one of. I don't know. So Drew McIntyre, when he left or when he was released, he really had. And I don't know. It wasn't a bitter chip on his shoulder, but he had a massive chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, he wanted to prove.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't know if it chip on your shoulder. Does bitterness automatically come with a chip on his shoulder?
I don't know if it does.
I feel like he had something to prove.
Yes.
Yeah. I think Wade Barrett asked for his release, and they were like, "Yeah, okay, we don't really have anything for you, so you can go." And he seemed happy with that. He seemed cool with it.
Yeah, and he really hasn't been doing a whole lot of in-ring competition since then.
Right, exactly. So I don't know. He seems fine. Like Drew really seemed to want to be like, "Hey, you know what? Screw you guys. I'm going to come back bigger and better than ever," which is so awesome. But if it's not something that he cares about, then I don't know that. You know, he's going to have if you don't have that motivation that Drew McIntyre obviously did have.
Yeah.
Then you're probably not going to get there. But if he has it, he'll go.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But I don't know if I see Wade Barrett being like some big masculine.
Oh, no.
I mean, Drew McIntyre was a complete reboot of the man.
Yeah.
You know, he
Yeah, he did.
bulked up and got all hairy and awesome and stuff.
Man, he's great.
Yeah. But Wade Barrett, I like Wade Barrett. I'd see Wade Barrett more as like a GM, though.
Yeah.
Like that's what he's doing right now.
Yeah. How about this? If they ever do anything with the United Kingdom division,
That'd be cool. There you go. That's perfect.
Yeah.
There you go. I like that a lot. Number 6. AJ Lee. File this one under not going to happen.
Yeah, this is very much not going to happen.
But, holy cow. This
same with number 1, probably.
Probably. Yeah, so this would be great. But, you know, if number 1 did happen, I could see number 6 happening.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, probably a package deal. You can probably guess who's number 1 at this point.
AJ Lee was great. She was fantastic.
She was the prototype for the Divas Revolution. I mean, everybody kind of knows that. She was a fantastic wrestler. I always did get the idea, though, with her that she was ahead of her time.
Oh, yeah.
And so everybody around her just kind of made her feel out of place because it was like, who does she have? That's why it was kind of cool when Paige came in.
Yeah, she finally had a contemporary that could hang with her.
Right,
in the ring.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's a good one. She had no other contemporaries there with her. And so it is kind of a bummer that all these great history-making things are happening in the WWE Women's Division.
Not involved.
And she's not a part of it. Yeah. So that's kind of a bummer. But, hey, she's got like at least she's I believe her book was a New York Times bestseller.
And I believe they're adapting it into a show.
They're making it into a TV show.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, she doesn't need the WWE, but it would be awesome to see her come back, you know.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
it definitely would.
That'd be a lot of fun. Number 5. Austin Aries.
So there was a lot of to-do about his departure from WWE, a lot of speculation. And from him, it was a matter of them just saying, hey, we don't have anything for you, so we're going to let you go.
Well, he also then did drop that promo saying that it was a little bit more than that.
Oh.
It was, you know, you have an attitude backstage. That, I think that was part of that. Isn't that part of his current The Truth gimmick?
Oh, I guess so.
Where he dropped that promo at House of Hardcore.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was like, you know, I could read between the lines or something. I don't know. I'm paraphrasing. I watched it once and didn't watch it again. But he's doing really, really good work right now. Like, I mean, he seems to have... Okay, so the knock on him was always that he was an issue to deal with backstage. And he addressed that at House of Hardcore and said that, yeah, that was probably why they didn't have anything for me.
Yeah.
I think. But ever since then, he's been sort of using that or writing that sort of element of his personality or his, you know, the conception that people have of him as his gimmick to great success. I mean, his thing right now is walking around just covered in championship belts. He's been picking up all over the place. I think Defiant.
Yeah.
I know he's currently, this is non-spoiler now, Impact World Champion.
Yeah, he won that in a pair of dress shoes.
Yeah.
Was he wearing slacks?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. He had just finished a banana. And they could have done that in a better way.
Some build, maybe?
Yeah, they could have done it with some build.
They went for shock instead of build.
Yeah, and the crowd didn't seem shocked at all. I mean, Impact has a long road before they're going to get a large enough crowd, like a couple hundred people in the same building that are really, really into what's going on.
Yeah.
I think they're making some good moves, and I think having Austin Aries as your face of the company is a great first move.
Yeah.
Or is a great, you know, I mean, they've made a couple of good moves before that. But in any event, there was a part of me that was really hoping Austin Aries would show up as, I knew it wasn't going to happen, but as GM of 205 Live.
Yeah. I mean, he tweeted something out about still being under 205 pounds.
I know. He
recently,
does that.
so.
I know. I don't like when people tease me like that. But because he is a top-notch, if nothing else, he's a top-notch personality. He's a top-notch wrestler.
He's top-notch on the mic.
Yeah, exactly. It would have been so much fun to see him back in you know, the WWE. He seemed, I mean, I know Neville seemed to have a problem with being on 205 Live.
Yeah, I don't know if he did.
I don't know if Austin Aries had a problem with that, or
I don't
they
know
were
either.
just like, I wouldn't really want to deal with you. I don't know. Only he knows, really.
Yeah.
But in any event, it's a shame that Austin Aries' time in WWE lasted as, you know, short as it did. And, you know, he had that injury. But to see him back in WWE would be a lot of fun.
A delight.
A delight. It'd be delightful. Number 4. Bobby Lashley. Now we mentioned him in the intro. So the rumor is there is an offer from WWE. There's an offer from New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yes, according to the Wrestling Observer himself.
Young upstart company in Japan.
Yeah, and according to Meltzer, Lashley decided to go with WWE, and according to him, he should be arriving anytime.
Yeah.
And the speculation that he put forth is that Bobby Lashley, may feud with Brock Lesnar post-WrestleMania if Brock sticks around.
That'd be great. I would love to see that.
That's a feud we never got.
Yeah, exactly. I would love to see that. 2 MMA guys. Of course, Brock had a bit more success there in the UFC, but Bobby Lashley, I think
he did pretty well for himself in Strikeforce and Bellator, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's not the UFC.
No, I know.
It's like the big leagues.
I'm aware.
But I don't know. I hear good things about Bellator these days, I think. Is Strikeforce still around?
I don't know if Strikeforce is still around.
I have no idea what the landscape is.
What was the one that Kibble Slice debuted with? Was it Elite XC?
Yes.
That was on Showtime?
Yes.
Can't believe I remember that.
Probably that. That's probably not.
Oh, that's
around.
gone.
Yeah, that's got to be
That's
gone.
way gone.
He exploded a man's ear.
I remember watching that fight.
Poor Kimbo Slice. He seemed like a good guy. Now he passed away. What a bummer.
Yeah.
But anyways, getting back to Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley has made a hell of a career for himself, not just in MMA, but of course, you know, riding the waves of TNA, the ups and downs.
Yeah.
He's been a mainstay there. He's been like, you know, a foundational piece there.
Yeah, he held their championship title several times.
And even recently, he had this really, when I was doing the Impact reviews, which I plan to bring back once we get to Office Space, he did some really, really good work. I wish that him and Moose, so they had kind of a rivalry, but I really wish they like were able to drag that out a little bit more and had that be over the world championship, because it wasn't. I think those two paired up would be like in a bigger, longer feud.
Would have been something else.
Could have been pretty cool.
Yeah.
But there was a lot. Lashley did a lot of really cool stuff in TNA. I mean, even when I was watching, he did some cool stuff.
Yeah. I wonder post Brock then who Lashley could be paired off with the feud going into the fall. Let's say Brock sticks around, fulfills all his options, wrestles through August. So SummerSlam's his last show.
Yeah.
So him, Lashley at SummerSlam.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Who would be next for Lashley after SummerSlam then? On Raw, assuming he's on Raw. Samoa Joe.
Yeah, I would love to see a Samoa Joe. I would love to see Samoa Joe. I mean, there's any number of guys. So I honestly don't know. I'm assuming Samoa Joe and Lashley probably mix it up during their time in Impact TNA.
Suspect, yeah.
I would think so. So, at that point, you're getting into like, dream match territories. Who are guys that weren't there? Who are guys in WWE now that you'd like to see him face off against?
Strowman.
I wonder, did Lashley and AJ Styles ever do a thing?
Oh, probably.
Probably had to.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, Strowman, exactly. To see Bobby Lashley, try to power slam Braun Strowman, give him a little taste of his own medicine. Who wouldn't want to see that?
I want to see that.
Hey, you know what? Steve wants to see it too. Shinsuke Nakamura.
Oh, great idea.
I would love to see that.
Another wrestler with a wealth of MMA experience.
Who wouldn't want to see that?
I want to see it.
I want to see it too.
I want to see it too.
So, Bobby Lashley walking dream match. Yes.
Yes.
Number 3.
3.
Rey Mysterio.
So we saw him at the Rumble. He looked great, moved great. It's exciting to see him in great shape. Mm-hmm. Moving like he used to in like the late 90s.
So fast.
And
he didn't have those goofy giant pants on.
Yeah, he wasn't wearing the pants.
The tights looked
amazing.
amazing.
Tights looked great. And of course, as soon as he debuted, speculation, is he coming back?
Yeah.
And at first we heard, no, they want him to work full-time. He wants to work a part-time schedule, which, considering his age and his experience, makes all the sense in the world. I don't know why they keep pushing the idea of making these people in their mid-40s.
I don't know, man.
Work 250 days a year. It doesn't make any sense.
Say, look, dude, if you just come in we can make a lot of money with you when we tour like Mexico. And then, give us a limited number of house shows. Give us all the TV.
100 dates.
100 dates.
For a year.
That would have to be good for him,
That's every TV plus a handful of house shows and then pay-per-view.
Yeah. And according to him, they are negotiating right now trying to match up. I'm assuming it's probably on the number of dates. Mm-hmm. I would doubt that money is a big deal.
Yeah.
Between both of them, but because he can make a lot of money. I was not huge on Rey Mysterio last time we saw him in WWE, but just this one appearance and to see how he looks now and how he moved, it was really impressive.
Yeah,
it was a stark difference from what I remembered.
Yeah.
So I would love to see Rey Mysterio back at the company. Somebody on Twitter, I retweeted this, tweeted out a really cool fan made poster for a 205 Live pay-per-view.
Oh, I saw that, yeah.
And it's like 205 Live Genesis or something like that.
Yeah, and it had Rey's
face on it. And I was like, wow, number one, whoever this is really good at graphic design.
Yeah.
But number two, I'm like, that would be really cool.
Yeah.
They just need to build 205 Live up to the point where they can have their own network special.
I know. But to think of that, we're going to see some surprise entrants into this 205 Live Championship tournament leading up to Mania. So far, those who have been announced or have wrestled, we know there's a pretty good chance they're not going to stick around. But maybe the couple people who haven't been announced are going to stick around, fill up the roster, bring some excitement to the show, bring Ray in, get some palpable excitement going for that show. Wrestlers people can get behind, build up wrestlers, because there's already tons. We say this all the time. The talent on 205 Live is outstanding.
Yeah, sure.
You got Cedric Alexander, Mustafa Ali. I can go on and on.
Yeah.
Great wrestlers, great talents, people with a lot of charisma, a lot of personality.
Yeah.
Just build the show up.
Here's how you do it. So they did this live show tour, right?
Yeah.
And they were like, well, it didn't really sell out a bunch. But they got some good buzz.
Yeah.
There were some good
shows
stuff
that happened. Yeah, and I heard that for February they were thinking about bringing the shows out here to California.
Perfect.
But I don't think it's going to happen now.
Probably not. So here's what you do instead. I've been harping on this. That Mustafa Ali promo that
great.
he did, that was on Twitter, right?
That's fantastic.
So instead of your typical takeover style where it's live and all this kind of stuff, you do something that's a bit more produced like that as its own 205 Live. And I know we were saying this should be for the UK thing, but call it King of the Ring. Start doing King of the Ring 205 Live specials where it's filmed It's in a smaller arena, like 500 people.
Really stylized,
real
dramatic lighting.
stylized,
Make
dramatic
it all
lighting.
about the competition.
Exactly. That's what you do. People would watch the living crap out of that, especially if there were matches in it that were really, really buzzworthy. People would watch the crap out of it. I mean, it's like the Cruiserweight Classic, but in one like 2.5 hour bunch.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
Number 2. Cody Rhodes.
He is kind of following the Drew McIntyre path,
Yes.
where he
Reinvented
left
himself.
WWE, has completely reinvented himself. And whether he goes back or not is unknown because he's doing really well. He's making a ton of money.
Yeah.
He might not see any reason to go back anytime soon unless he feels like he has unfinished business in WWE, which I don't know if he feels that way.
Yeah.
But he would be welcome. His character work is outstanding.
I would hazard a guess. There is. So we've seen what Cody can do so far, and it's been a very short period of time. It's been like, what, just a year and a half or so that he's been out of the
I think it was
WWE?
May 2016.
Okay. And we've seen him succeed beyond all expectations. By far, beyond anybody else who sort of left WWE around that time, Cody's been, top of the game. He's got this all-in show coming up, and he seems to be, filling up. I remember on Instagram he put out that bucket list, and he seemed to have filled that up pretty quick, and now he's venturing into new territory, like promoting. I wonder, I would just think that a guy like that, whose family and his identity had been so closely paired with the WWE, that would have to be kind of one of the final things, like go back there and succeed there as well. Have so much stroke behind the name that I'm building for myself that I'm out of the spotlight of my brother. I'm out of the spotlight of my dad. Or I'm sorry, the shadow of my dad and my brother. I'm my own person.
He's gone forth and forged his own path in the industry and made his mark. If this all-in show sells out, that's gonna be a huge deal for independent wrestling, and he was the one that was behind it.
Absolutely. And but I wonder if that last thing would be, go back there, go back to the WWE, even though he doesn't need to, he wouldn't have to, he wouldn't need to. Something tells me he's the kind of guy who would want to tackle that next challenge because that would be a next challenge for him. And I think he could probably do it. I think another couple of years of that trajectory, and it's going to be inevitable. It's like, okay, well, Cody, what else do you have to do? What else can you do? But to go back and succeed where, I'm not going to say you failed.
Yes.
But in his mind, he probably thinks, hey, you know what? I didn't get to the top of the mountain. To him, that might be a failure.
Yeah, it could be.
To very competitive people, it could be.
And it'll be interesting to see how this Omega feud he has right now, which, they have the match at Supercard of Honor. Sure, it'll be good. Whether that feud will be ongoing throughout the summer or not. Maybe it culminates it all in. I don't know. But I think the kind of infighting amongst Bullet Club is going to be kind of capturing the imaginations of wrestling fans for a good portion of this year to see how it all plays out.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with Cody at next Wrestle Kingdom.
Yep.
Who's going to fight, because he put on a terrific match with Kota Ibushi. Let's see here. Number 1. CM Punk.
Yeah, CM Punk. Of course it's CM Punk.
He's of the modern era. He is my favorite wrestler. Or up until, I don't know, up until he left.
Yeah.
He was my favorite
Last
wrestler.
10 years, your favorite wrestler.
Yeah, I would say that. And I would love to see him back. It's a bummer he's taking this UFC thing so seriously. I don't like it. I even saw a little video of him the other day sparring with a sparring partner, and the sparring partner dropped a stunner on him.
Oh, yeah, I saw that too.
CM Punk sort of chuckled about it.
Yeah.
But inside he was probably like,
I can't get past this,
can't get past that crap, can I? So just come back.
Just come back.
Just come back.
Just come back.
Look,
you'll get your WrestleMania main event.
At this point,
just come back.
Just come back. Who wouldn't want to see that? I mean, he'd have to bulk up a little bit. He's so skinny. He looks so, sickly.
Well, I think he's wrestling or fighting at, 25, 30 pounds less than what he wrestled at.
He's fighting at like a $125 or something.
I think they build him at over 200. Like 215 or something.
Yeah, I think he was wrestling at 180, 185, something like that.
Oh, fighting, you mean?
Fighting.
Yeah,
fighting.
something like that. Something about 30 pounds.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I mean, I would be really excited if that were the case. It seems weird now to think about him being back in the WWE because they've moved on in such a dramatic fashion. Yeah. But it was such a bummer how they split ways. And granted, this will probably never happen simply because there evidently is that lawsuit still going on, and that has to be just every day, probably more bad blood.
Yep.
especially on his part.
Like all the money he has to dish out to cover legal fees.
Yeah, that's got to be, God, that would be such a pain in the butt.
Mm-hmm.
Just for, you know, in his mind, calling it like it was on that podcast. Imagine being Colt Cabana and being dragged into that. Like all you're doing is giving your pal an outlet, and now you have to start dealing with that crap. That'd be terrible.
Oh, yeah.
But so it probably never happened. But look, man, he was the best promo guy in the business at the time. He had an epic rivalry with CM Punk. He had,
with Cena, you mean?
I'm sorry, with Cena.
He had an epic rivalry with
himself. Yes. And of course he was one of those guys who always left everything out there. The old cliche, leaving it all out there in the ring.
You know who we forgot to include on this list?
Who?
Oh, no, we didn't. We left him off. Ryback.
Damn it. See, instead of Wade Barrett, I would put Ryback on there.
I don't want Ryback
Come on.
back.
So
no.
seriously, you wouldn't want Ryback?
No.
Number 7, Ryback.
No.
Really?
No.
Why not?
He wasn't a good wrestler.
Just bring him in and job him out.
He wasn't a captivating personality.
Bring him to 205.
He just had a lot of muscles.
He didn't think so. I don't know why they didn't push me more for world champion of everything.
Well, I mean, Ryback.
We could have got a massive sponsorship from El Pollo Loco.
CM Punk can even get a good match out of you.
Why are you guys talking to me about like that? We're going to hear from Ryback now. Why are you guys talking about me like that? Not good being negative. I personally, I don't know. I'd personally love to see Ryback just because it'd be hilarious. I don't know, big old weird muscle bound guy. Conversations with the big guy on WWE.
I guess his own talk show segment.
That's what. Yeah. No, it should be like they should bring his podcast to the WWE Network.
Oh gosh.
Hi, how's it going? I'm Ryback. Anyways, I don't know. The list of things I could talk about with Ryback.
Oh, it's long.
All the crap,
it's
all the BS that he spewed on his podcast.
It's ridiculous.
Nobody wants to see women wrestling. They just go there for the TNA.
Oh my gosh.
This is the worst, man. Anyways, hey, you got to get your money somehow. I would love to see Ryback. I think he'd be great.
No, not at all.
Anyways,
I like good wrestling, so no thank you.
Oh, yeah. I know he's so bad.
Yeah, he was awful.
Anyways, there was that one time he would call people stupid. That was funny. He did some funny stuff.
Funny
when he was at the when he would eat a lot. What didn't he eat like at the? Didn't he do something funny at the concession stand once?
Oh, I don't remember that.
Where's the beef jerky or
That's
something
where he
like
just
that?
would yell stupid at people.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
No,
we got to watch a Ryback match.
No, we don't.
No, didn't we do? We're not going to do a going in review with a CM Punk versus Ryback. We tried to do that. I tried to do that.
Yeah.
I got shot down.
Yeah, because it probably was not a good match.
Probably not. Anyways, that's it for going in. What is this? Count out? That's it for count out. Thanks for watching. Until next time, we'll talk to you guys later.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody. I'm going to go to El Pollo Loco now. Feed me more.